Victorian London was once a grand city of stone and steel, but now towering brass spires stretch to the sky, powered by steam engines that thrum day and night. Alistair, a technomancer of remarkable skill, gazes out over the smog-choked streets from the workshop of his ancestors. For generations his family has hidden the truth. Their powers are not mere tricks of magic, but a divine legacy passed down from ancient gods. The vibrant energy of this power often flickers in his eyes, casting a shimmering glow on the industrial gloom around him. Below, Mira, Alistair's closest confidant, works tirelessly amidst the gears and cogs of their hidden workshop. Her mastery of mechanical invention rivals Alistair's magic, and together they craft devices that bridge the gap between sorcery and machinery. With every spell Mira enchants, a swirl of colour bursts forth, painting the grey world with hues of emerald, sapphire and gold. Despite their efforts, the oppressive regime grows bolder, tightening its grip on the technomancers, hungry to harness their power for war. Dorian, the enigmatic third member of their group, drifts between the rebellion's cells, gathering information and covertly sabotaging the regime's efforts. His calm demeanour hides a storm of power within him, inherited from a forgotten god of the wind and skies. His airship, the Zephyr's Fury, soars through the heavens above London's steam-powered skyline, its brass hull glowing faintly with the ethereal runes carved into it by Dorian's ancestors. The balance between magic and machinery is tenuous, and Alistair, Mira and Dorian are painfully aware that a confrontation with the regime is inevitable. Whispers of rebellion echo through the streets, but so too do rumours that the regime has developed a new weapon, one capable of severing the connection between technomancers and their divine power. The clock is ticking, and time is running out for London's secret technomancer coven. One evening, a signal flare of golden light arcs across the sky, a prearranged sign that the regime has made its move. Alistair and Mira lock eyes. They know that the time has come to reveal their powers to the world, but in doing so, they risk not only their lives, but the delicate balance of magic and technology that holds London together. With Dorian already in the skies, they must act quickly. The rebellion is about to begin. As the golden flare fades from the sky, Alistair and Mira hastily gather their enchanted tools and blueprints. They know the regime's forces will be closing in soon, and the underground rebellion they've nurtured for years is on the verge of breaking free. In the darkened streets, whispers of resistance grow louder, carried on the winds of revolution. Airships patrol the skies, and mechanical enforcers roam the streets, their eyes glowing with the cold light of the regime's control. The rebellion's forces, led by Dorian from his airship, begin to organise in secret hideouts across London. They communicate via enchanted mirrors and intricate steam-powered devices that Mira has perfected over the years. Each device pulses with a soft light, symbolising the life force of the ancient gods that flows through the technomancer's veins. But their success has come at a cost. The regime has grown aware of the technomancer's divine heritage, and they will stop at nothing to sever the rebellion's connection to that ancient power. On the eve of their first major strike, Mira uncovers troubling news. The regime has developed a device capable of disrupting the divine magic within the technomancers. This weapon, a towering mechanism of brass and obsidian, hums with an ominous energy. If activated, it could sever the technomancers' link to their ancestors, rendering their magic useless. Alistair feels a pang of fear. Without their magic, their rebellion is doomed. They must act before the weapon can be fully deployed. As night falls, Alistair, Mira and Dorian gather their forces. Dorian's airship, the Zephyr's Fury, hovers above the city, its brass hull reflecting the moonlight. Alistair leads the charge on the ground, while Mira coordinates from her hidden workshop, her hands never resting as she prepares the last of their magical devices. Their goal is clear: destroy the regime's weapon before it can strike, but time is running out. The battle begins with an explosion of magic and fire. The rebellion, though small, fights with the power of the gods coursing through their veins. Alistair's spells burst with vibrant energy, swirling around the regime's enforcers, while Dorian's airship rains down enchanted bombs on the city's defences. But even as they make progress, the shadow of the regime's new weapon looms larger, its dark energies beginning to disrupt the Technomancer's magic. Alistair realises that the cost of victory may be higher than they anticipated. The battle rages on as the rebellion pushes deeper into the heart of London. Alistair's spells, radiant with the power of his divine heritage, cut through the regime's mechanical enforcers with vibrant bursts of energy. Dorian's airship, the Zephyr's Fury, darts between the towering brass spires, dropping enchanted bombs that explode in showers of magical light. Yet, despite their efforts, the regime's forces seem endless, and their new weapon, an enormous brass and obsidian construct, begins to emit a low hum, vibrating with dark energy. As Alistair reaches the base of the weapon, he realizes the enormity of the task before him. The device's energy is already disrupting the flow of magic, and he can feel his connection to the gods beginning to waver. Mira's voice crackles through a steam-powered communication device at his side, urging him to disable the mechanism before it's too late. But the closer Alistair gets, the more oppressive the device's power becomes, threatening to sever his link to the ancient gods entirely. Meanwhile, high above the city, Dorian battles to keep the Zephyr's Fury in the air. The regime's aerial defences have taken their toll on the airship, and it groans under the strain of combat. Dorian channels the power of his divine ancestry, summoning gusts of wind to drive the airship forward, but even his strength is waning. Below, the battle on the ground intensifies as the regime's enforcers close in on the rebellion, their mechanical forms relentless and unyielding. In a desperate bid to stop the weapon, Alistair uses the last of his strength to cast a spell of immense power, calling upon the full legacy of his ancestors. A brilliant, multicoloured light bursts forth, illuminating the entire city as magic swirls around the weapon. But the device resists, its dark energy pushing back, and Alistair feels his connection to the gods slipping away. Mira, watching from her workshop, knows that if the spell fails, the rebellion will be lost. Just as all hope seems lost, a brilliant explosion of colour erupts from the sky. Dorian, using the last of his airship's power, has channeled a final blast of divine energy, merging it with Alistair's spell. The combined power of their ancient heritage overwhelms the weapon, causing it to shatter in a cascade of brass and obsidian. The oppressive energy lifts, and Alistair's connection to the gods is restored. But the victory comes at a cost. The Zephyr's Fury crashes to the ground, its fate uncertain. As the dust settles from the shattered weapon, the streets of London are filled with an eerie silence. The vibrant magic that had once swirled through the air begins to fade, replaced by the cold hum of machinery winding down. Alistair stands amidst the wreckage, his body aching from the strain of the spell, but the sense of victory is overshadowed by the sight of Dorian's airship, Zephyr's Fury, lying in pieces across the city square. The rebellion has won this battle, but at a heavy cost. Mira emerges from her workshop, her face lined with exhaustion. She joins Alistair at the scene of destruction, her gaze fixed on the wreckage of the airship. For a moment, neither speaks. The victory feels hollow without knowing Dorian's fate. As they begin to search through the debris, they find traces of Dorian's magic lingering in the air, faint but present. Hope flickers within them, but the devastation of the battle is undeniable. The rebellion's forces gather in the streets, their faces a mix of triumph and sorrow. They have dealt a significant blow to the regime by destroying their weapon, but the regime's forces are still out there, regrouping. As the regime's hold on London weakens, more of the city's citizens begin to rise up, inspired by the rebellion's defiance. Yet Alistair knows that without Dorian, their fight may not last much longer. As night falls, Mira and Alistair return to the hidden workshop, where they attempt to reach Dorian through their enchanted devices. Each pulse of light from the communication mirrors sends a wave of uncertainty through Alistair. He can feel the god's power within him. But it is fading, weakened by the events of the day. The cost of wielding such immense power is becoming clearer with each passing hour. The divine connection that once felt unbreakable now feels fragile. Finally, as the moon rises over the brass spires of London, a single signal crackles through the enchanted mirror. It's faint, but unmistakable. Dorian is alive. Relief washes over Mira and Alistair, but they know the rebellion is far from over. The regime may have lost its weapon, but the fight for London has only just begun. With renewed determination, they prepare for the next phase of their battle, aware that their divine legacy may be the key to either victory or destruction. In the days following the battle, word spreads through London of the rebellion's victory. The regime, weakened but not yet defeated, retreats to regroup. The people, once cowed by fear, now rise up in greater numbers, their spirits emboldened by the Technomancer's success. Alistair, Mira, and the other leaders of the rebellion begin to strategize their next moves, but a deeper truth lingers beneath the surface, one that Alistair can no longer ignore. As the rebellion gathers strength, Alistair feels the divine power within him growing restless. His connection to the ancient gods, once a source of strength, has become more unpredictable, and visions of long-forgotten memories haunt his dreams. One evening, as Mira works late into the night on another device, Alistair reveals to her what he has discovered. The Technomancer's powers are not merely magical, but divine, passed down through their bloodlines from gods who once ruled the heavens. They are more than just rebels. They are descendants of a long-forgotten pantheon. Mira listens in shock as Alistair explains that their true power lies not just in their magic, but in their ancestry. The gods, now forgotten by the world, have left behind their descendants, and the Technomancers are their last living heirs. This revelation changes everything. The rebellion is no longer just a fight for freedom from the regime, but a struggle to reclaim their divine birthright. But with this power comes a price, and Alistair wonders if they are prepared to bear the burden of their ancestors. As Alistair and Mira discuss their next steps, a faint signal crackles through the enchanted mirror. Dorian, alive but weak, sends a final message. The regime has uncovered the truth about their divine heritage. They are not just fighting for control of London, they are fighting for the very survival of the Technomancer's bloodline. The regime's next move will not be just military. They will attempt to destroy the Technomancer's divine connection forever. In the final moments, Alistair, Mira and Dorian prepare for the next battle, knowing that their powers, passed down from ancient gods, are the key to their survival. The weight of their divine legacy presses heavily upon them, but they resolve to fight on, not just for their rebellion, but for the gods who once ruled the world. As the brass spires of London gleam in the moonlight, they set their sights on the future, knowing that the fate of both their city and their divine heritage now rests in their hands.